West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
He must be rich, tall, handsome, from a respectable family. He must have a maid because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Why? Obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange, anti your TV enkolera.
Enjoy a new world of entertainment with over 80 TV and radio channels, plus movies from wherever you are. Download the Yo TV Channels app from your app store and enjoy 30 days of free streaming with MTN.
Yo TV Channels, the power is in your hands.
It is Kokoliriko live on West Nile TV. We do apologize for the delay, and it is because of some technical glitches here and there. But, well, we are back on air and want to take you up to the hour of 10 a.m. My name is Opingopi Yusuf Andabati, and today we want to have a very extended discussion on a number of issues. Just so you know, the President of the Republic of Uganda was in northern Uganda for like about 5 days, yes, and he was on a fact-finding mission. Two issues. One, he was on finding out what the gist of the matter is as far as the upper question is concerned. You do know that there has for quite some time been an existence of conflict between the Madi people and the Acholi people in northern Uganda. What are the issues? He was finding this out. If you can remember, the then Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Olanya came to Apa, and he camped in Apa for some time before he died, by the way, and to find out what was going on. But the only problem was he belonged to one of the ethnic groups that are actually clashing over that specific piece of land, and so it didn't yield any fruit. And basically this is what we want to discuss. The president also camped in northern Uganda to have an exclusive understanding of why the insecurity situation in Karamoja still exists. We'll be discussing these two issues right here, right now. I have Mr. Oringi Dennis, my colleague, want to discuss this with him. Good morning, you're most welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, Andy. Good morning, and it has been a while.
It's been a while.
Today, I am happy that you invited me so that we dissect on some of the issues that we have in Uganda, as we shall be handling regional issues as well.
All right, let's start with the upper land question. Do you think the presence of the President of the Republic of Uganda, he came personally to northern Uganda to be able to have a better understanding of what is prolonging this conflict in northern Uganda? Do you think his presence will be able to put an end to the, to the land question of Apa? Your take on this?
All right, thank you very much, Andy. When we talk about upper land question, this is a question that has never been answered by the government of the Republic of Uganda. But we do see the two ethnic groups, clashing over that particular land. Upper land is one of the lands that we have in in northern Uganda. Much as part of it is also, considered to be in a West Nile sub-region, because Ajumani district is being considered as, part of West Nile. This upper land, it is in one of the areas that is supposed to be considered to be,
a game reserve?
A game reserve, to say, because of the vegetation cover in that area. Upper land is one of the areas that we have in northern Uganda that, one, it is so fertile, and two, it is a land that has got natural tree species.
Okay, but Oringi, if you can try to take us back a little bit to be able to understand the genesis of this conflict. You had alluded to the fact that part of this land is supposed to be a game reserve, but why do the local people fight over government land? Because all game reserves belong to the government. Why would they be fighting over this land? Or the part of it is still community land? Take us back and make us understand where the gist of the matter is.
Now, when we talk about Upper land, it is still even a big question to know who exactly owns that land, because we do see there are surely people claiming that that land belongs to them. And we are also seeing the Madi people also claiming that the land belongs to them. And this is where now we're supposed to see the government coming on board. If it is a game reserve, I think government of the Republic of Uganda has got policies to manage game reserves. We have the Uganda Wildlife Authority that is in charge. You ask yourself, why is it people from this side of the Nile are not disturbing, people from the other side when it comes to the issues to do with the game reserve? So the issues to do with the Upper land and also issues surrounding the Upper land itself, there are a lot of issues. Others are political, you understand. Then others, what we would really term it to be, ancestral issues. Now, what do we need to do? Can you remember that the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Ruakana Rugunda, was the chairperson of the committee that was instituted by the same President of the Republic of Uganda to come to APA and find out what is the real issue on ground. And up to now, the recommendations that that committee came out with has never been implemented.
And even the Committee of Parliament.
Even the Committee of Parliament also did the same. And also government, and also the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was able also to constitute a committee that was chaired by the former and latest Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, Jacob Lanya, who is an Asholi. And there was a conflict of interest because the people from Madi sub-region, they were saying, no, we can't really have this chairperson who is actually to stay at that particular committee because he will be biased when it comes to the resolution and also making reports to the President of the Republic of Uganda. So the issues to do with the Upper land at this particular time as we talk, it is a very big question. The question now, what we need to ask is that why is it the government is delaying to solve the Upper land issues? Let me tell you, last week there was clashes and some people were really seriously beaten and some people were arrested, and up to now their whereabouts is not known. And the soldiers had to swing into action to see that they quell the situation. Now, the attack is between the Madi people and the Asholi people. But something that people need to know at this particular time about Upper land is that there are some political leaders, from these areas who are fueling this. Why? Because the land is so fertile. And secondly, there are some cultural leaders also from these two, cultural institutions that are also trying to fuel this. So what do we need to know? Government of the Republic of Uganda claims that it has what we call the geographical map that can be used to ensure that this issue is solved. Why can't they go back to the map, and they get the clear demarcation?
People normally said you have to go back to Entebbe.
Yes.
You get the documents from Entebbe.
You get the document from Entebbe. Why is it very hard for the government of the Republic of Uganda to get the document, to help these two ethnic groups so that the issue is put to dot? Because each and every time, Upper. And I have to tell you this, that the lorries that are leaving, the northern part of this country, going with the bags of charcoal to Kampala, these lorries are all from Upper. Why? Because there are people who are really making money out of Upper. They are taking advantage of the local people there. They claim that those people are not educated and they don't know anything. But I have to tell you this, that Upper is one of the forgotten land that we have in Uganda. Why? Because of the issues to do with the capital, human capital development. When you talk about health facility, we don't have this in Upper. When you talk about school, go and see the nature of school in Upper. The school has been deserted. At one point, the school turned to be internally displaced, IDP kind of facility for the people who are really attacked from their homes. So the issues to do with APA, if the government of the Republic of Uganda is saying that APA is a game reserve, then the government has to demarcate. We have the soldiers. Why are the soldiers not acting? We have the UA, personnel who are in charge of controlling the game reserve. What are they doing? The presence of the soldiers in APA should really help to bring the insecurity down in APA. But it's quite unfortunate that if the soldiers continue to stay in APA and you continue to hear about insecurity, then it means that this a kind of a dilly-dallying game, a kind of a cats and dog games that is being played.
So Ringi, do you think the president's presence will be able to, in northern Uganda, will be able to bring this to an end?
Not as such, because a president only comes for 2 or 3 days and he talks to the leaders in town. You understand? I wanted President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to leave the issue of traveling with the aircraft he has to use the road. He has to get in his vehicle. He gets to APA by himself, other than sending these, politicians, because people will never trust these politicians because they already have selfish interest. The land question in the Asholi sub-region has been quite for many years now. Remember the issues to do with some land that was given to one of the investors. The Asholi people right now, they're fearing that if they leave that upper land, it will be given to an investor in which the Madi people will benefit from that. Now, they're looking at safeguarding their land. What is happening right now is that the Asholi people want to safeguard that land. Because if you go there and you see the kind of people
living there. And the Madi also want to do the same.
And the Madi also wants to do the same. If you are to go to Upper and see the kind of people who are living there, they look to be a real villagers. But you ask yourself, how can these villagers be able to stand on their feet and defend the issue of their land? I have to tell you that there are some politicians who are fueling this. You have to know Amuro district is full of opposition members of parliament. And these are people who can really fight for their people. When you talk about Gilbert Olanya, and yesterday but one, Gilbert Olanya was able to put it clearly to the President of the Republic of Uganda that the issues to do with the power land is being fueled even by some of the soldiers because they tend to play some cats and dogs when it comes to the issue of protecting the people and also, guarding that particular land. So he's blaming some government officials who are trying to use the soldiers to intimidate the Asholi people. He was defending his people because he represents them at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda.
All right. Do you think the interest of the two ethnic groups are being catered for as far as the upper land question is concerned? Because the Madi people will at a certain point feel aggrieved if a resolution is made and probably at the end of the day it is said this land belongs on the other side. And if at the end of the day the land is said to belong to the people of Jumani, what do you think could be the outcome of such kind of resolution that will be reached?
I think if the resolution is not reached properly, it will bring a lot of issues. And that's why President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is very smart here. He wants to use these politicians, the leaders of the people, to go and find out the issues and come out with a resolution. He doesn't want to be blamed that I am the one who came out with this decision. So President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni constituting this committee to investigate, to find out and come out with a solution to the problem of our land. The president is wise here because he wants you people go there and talk to the people. If you fail to convince the people, if you fail to solve the problem, it is not his problem. And that's why he was able to appoint the late Speaker Jacob Olanya to head that particular committee. And up to now, the resolution that was really reached at by the committee and presented to the cabinet has never been, taken serious of. Because if it was taken serious of at this particular time, we would not be hearing the issues to do with the Apala and the conflict again continuing to exist between the Asholi and the Madi people.
Okay.
The Asholi and the Madi people are not the only people who are staying in Uganda. We have got also other tribes that are also having land issues, but the issues have been solved. We had issues to do with the Alur and the Asholi people from the other side of the river. Much as some people lost their lives, may their soul rest in eternal peace, but at least at this particular time, the issues have been solved. The issue that the Commission of Catherine Bamugamirire never investigated was the issue of Upper land. Much as Catherine Bamugamirire was able to move with other, senior, councils and senior, judges who served in different capacities in this country, but they have never handled the issues to do with Upper land. Because if you look at the recommendation given by the Land Commission that was instituted by the President of the Republic of Uganda to investigate the issues surrounding the land wrangles and the issues to do with the borders, at different levels. These people never wrote any recommendation to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni concerning
Maybe they did, and this didn't see the break of dawn. Maybe because a number of committees have been set up, and still their resolutions, their recommendations have never been put to the eye of the public. So that gives a lot of questions. Now let's shift gears a little bit. The Karamoja insecurity situation. The president's presence in northern Uganda was to look at these two issues: the upper land conflict and the insecurity situation in northern Uganda, specifically in Karamoja sub-region. Now, the president, in his words, said he is going to recommend, actually he's going to transfer some of the army leaders, security leaders in Karamoja, because he has found on ground that, well, not really in his own words, but in a way he said he has found on ground that some of these security officers are actually fueling, they are benefiting from the cattle rustling in Karamoja sub-region. So what would be your take on this?
Yeah,
Has this been long overdue?
All right. Thank you very much. Whenever there are issues, you have to know that there are people who are benefiting and there are people who are not benefiting. So issues to do with the cattle rustling in Karamoja sub-region, this is something that has been in existence for decades. Even President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, with his government, found this issue was already in existence. First of all, we need to understand who are the Karamojong people. History tells us that Karamojong people, these are they are the Nile Hamites. These are people who are cattle keepers generally. You know, they migrated from Ethiopia, you know, moving with their cattle downstream around Turkana area, and then at a certain point they stayed around Turkana in Kenya, and then they had to cross this side of the eastern part of Uganda with their cattle, and they have been staying with their cattle. And in Karamoja, I need to tell you this, that somebody is regarded to be superior, somebody is regarded to be powerful in the society when the person has that number of cattle in his home. If you don't have that number of cattle, you don't belong to the elders, and you don't have right to raise your hands and say any issue when there are meetings of the elders, because they will look at you as a young boy. I was interacting with one of the LDUs who is my friend, and he was recruited and trained and was taken to Karamoja. He just came for a pass leave to have a rest a bit, and I was asking him issues to do with Karamoja. And I have one of my OBs also. He's one of the LDUs who were recruited, and currently they are one of those that are really managing this security issues in Karamoja. And he was able to tell me a lot to do with issues to do with cattle rustling in Karamoja region. I asked him, why do you think these Karamojong people are continuing to to raid cattle from each other? He says that is their culture.
Okay. It's like a...
He told me...
It's like a game.
It is like a game. You understand? Remember, our history tells us that there were people who are called fruit gatherers. There were people who are called hunters. And there are people who are called rustlers. And who are the people who rustle? Are the young people. And what he told me says that these elders, now, what they tell the young people is that, please, for you to have cows, go and raid. If you don't raid, you will never have cows. So it is a game that these people started playing way back, even before this colonial government came into existence. And then NRM government came into existence, and also the past regimes. So what do we need to do here? We needed to understand who are the Karamojong people and how can we change their mindset. I love each and every time when I hear from the Minister of Information saying that people's mindset need to be changed. But they have never talked about having mindset change for the Karamoja people. The disarmament policy came in 2010, 2011. I was in northern Uganda by then. What happened? They did their part. The soldiers did their part. They disarmed the Karamojong. But they didn't understand where the Karamojong were getting their guns from. There is a market in Kenya, in a Turkana area. Those are cattle rustlers. What do they do? They don't use money to buy guns. They use animals that they raid from one another to buy guns, so that they can use it for raiding. These Karamojong people are not getting guns from the government of the Republic of Uganda, but they have where they're getting these guns from. Now, if we are talking about solving the insecurity in Karamoja sub-region and we leave the other side of Kenya, we are still talking nothing. What do we need to do? Kenya is one of the countries in East African economy. Uganda is one of the countries in East African economy. The Karamojong people belong to Uganda. Their relatives are in Kenya, the Turkana area, yes, and also in South Sudan. What is the government of the Republic of Uganda doing to ensure that they work in collaboration with the government of Kenya and the government of South Sudan, and see and even how... the government of Ethiopia. And government of Ethiopia as well. And where are these guns coming from? No, the Karamojong people do not make guns. These guns are made from somewhere and sold to them. Can we try to investigate and find out where are they getting their guns from? If you continue picking peppers on top of your table that is being blown off, and you keep picking and you don't identify where the wind that is blowing your pepper is coming from, you will fail to understand the problem that you have. So deploying soldiers to be, arresting, trying, taking these people to court, beating people in Karamoja will never solve Karamoja issue. But the issue that need to be discussed is finding out where do they get their guns from. Is it closing the market of the guns that they procure using the animals that they have? Secondly, you have to know that there are profiteers, and also there are those that shed their blood for the, for some people to benefit. For sure. Who does not need money in this country? Who does not want to put bungalow in this country? The problem that we have in this country is that we have lost the integrity. We have lost the purpose. We have lost the morals. The people who have been taken there to be the security heads are not doing enough. What they're doing, they are taking as an opportunity for them to get something and so that they can really have something to show that I have been in Karamoja and this is what I have. So I think President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is right to say that there are people who are benefiting from the insecurity that we are witnessing in Karamoja. One of the LDUs was also able to tell me that, you see, when we recover these stolen cattle, it is their commanders who always do the deal of saying, and I think now let us, trying to tell you, where there's money, I have to tell you that issue will never be solved. Where there's money. All right. What are we looking for? All right. Money. All right. In Karamoja, there's money out of the cattle wrestling that is taking place, but it's quite unfortunate that people are losing their lives, and it seems that those that have been taken there are not doing enough. So President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, if he will be able to do such a supplement of the commanders who are really managing Karamoja issue, it will be a plus for me, and we shall see what will happen next after the reshufflement of the commanders that are really managing the affairs in Karamoja sub-region. All
right, thank you very much. Now, one thing we need to understand about Karamoja sub-region is that it is one of the mineral-rich regions, sub-regions, if I may say, in Uganda. There's a lot of gold deposits in Karamoja, and a number of other mineral, deposits that are found in this country are actually in Karamoja sub-region. So these are the issues. So you can, from your own perspective, be able to understand why the persistent insecurity in Karamoja sub-region. Will the presence of the president in northern Uganda be able to put an end to the insecurity in Karamoja? Well, we'll wait and see. Now, want to shift gears a little bit. Our time is fast spent, Orengi, and I do know that in Arua city specifically, there is a looming demonstration which is supposed to happen at this time. Anytime from now, we'll be able to hear demonstration, or because there's a planned demonstration by the market vendors in Arua main market. They intend to lock up the main market because they want other vendors that have abandoned the newly constructed market to get back to the market. There is the Lobida market, which is down there. People could normally commonly call it as the Yumbe Park, the Ringa Park, down there, which is on Lemerijua Road. So there are people who have deliberately refused to occupy the newly constructed Arua main market. Because of this, the vendors in the main market who feel they pay, tax to the government, to the local government, they are being cheated by the mere fact that the people who are supposed to occupy the main market rush down there, and more buyers go to that place down there, but not this main market. So what does this mean? And yet the people who are occupying the Laubida market have refused to vacate it. There is a plan by the, city authority to go and destroy the stalls that have been erected in the Lobida market. But there's a lot of ping pong that has been going on for quite some time now. What is your take on this? Will this create sanity in the city at the end of the day? We do know the kind of ruckus that exists on Idi Amin Road and on Lemerijua Road. People are vending in the middle of the road. What is your take on this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been covering a story about the main market right from the time that Arua municipality then was able to get over 30 billion for the construction of that market under Matif 3. And it is quite, it was quite unfortunate that the construction of the market took long, because it was a 2-year project, meaning that if it started in 2017, late 2017, it was supposed to be done by 2019. But unfortunately, the market was not completed by 2019, and market vendors had to relocate to the market in 2022. It means that even the scope of the project was not respected by the constructor, and also the city leaders they were not able to do what they were supposed to do in terms of supervision and other stuff. It is good that the government of the Republic of Uganda is trying to see that they improve the status of the market for the citizens, so that they really they are accommodated in a proper, designated places created in this market. So when you look at this market constructed with loan borrowed from World Bank, and that the municipality, now the city is going to pay back, it is going to cause a lot of issues. I can really borrow leave from what happened in Gulu in 2013, in 2012. They started constructing the market in 2011, 2012, 2013, the market was completed, and it took the municipality authority then to push those that were relocated to pave way for the construction of the market. So the market was relocated to Kaunda ground, and the market vendors at Kaunda ground felt that it was useless for them to go back to the newly constructed market. What happened was that this municipality authority was able to use bulldozers to bulldoze these market vendors, raise down these temporary structures that were erected, so that the new market is constructed. So in Arua, I love the fact that when people were told to go back to the newly constructed market, people responded positively. We never had tear gas, unlike other cities or other municipalities like Soroti, where we had a lot of issues. So Arua main market is not different from Barara main market. That was even commissioned this year by February, that the market vendors were supposed to go and occupy. So right now we have two white elephants that in this country that government of the Republic of Uganda wasted money on. I call it wasted money on because it is not serving its purpose that was meant for. Because before you get this loan, you have to explain thoroughly to the World Bank to understand the reason why you want to borrow this money and how are you going to pay back this money. So the pressure that the Arua city now is having is that how are they going to pay the loan borrowed by the government of the Republic of Uganda, because it is the loan that is supposed to be financed by Arua city now. So currently what is happening is that the technical people who are charged with the responsibility of managing finances of the city, they are looking at how can they raise the money to pay back the loan to the government of the Republic of Uganda. I mean, is that during the time that the market was being constructed, they created a series of markets in the municipality. Now the city, remember the Arua Hill market, serving the people of Arua Hill, and it was the former Arua Hill division that was benefiting from the Arua Hill market, and that brought a lot of issues between the two divisions now annexed together to form a central division. Remember when Lobida market was created, the division that was collecting money from Lobida was Rivauli division that was collecting money from that market. Now the main market was completed, the taxi park was completed, and the money was going into the pool of Arua Hill division. Now because of this city thing, the two divisions have been annexed. Currently as we talk, there's no finances that is being given to the divisions that have been created in the city. The divisions that have been created in the city are benefiting from the vote that is still in the name of the municipality. So what am I trying to say? Aivu division is being financed by a former Arua municipality vote, meaning that the central division that has got the two former divisions annexed together are benefiting from the money allocated, being allocated by the vote for the former municipality. Now, what our leaders needed to do now is to advocate for Arua City to get its own vote to finance the two divisions that have been created. Now, the issue that we have right here is that there is a lot of political games that is being played here. I don't blame the vendors, but I blame the politicians and the technical people that we have in this city, that before you relocated these people to the newly constructed market, what were strategies that were laid to ensure that people get to understand the importance of this market and why this market was constructed? Currently, what we have is that we have the political leaders who know what to be done right, but because of the political capital that they have already, they don't want to spoil that political capital. So when you look at this issue, you'll find that there's some politicians who have been voted in by these people are trying to go back to these people and tell them, look here, you people, you should not go, because he is also benefiting, or she is also benefiting. What should be done at this particular time? There should be a lot of sensitization and mindset change that should be deployed by the rural city before moving with soldiers, moving with police officers, moving with tear gas, moving with live bullets to disperse these people who are in this market.
But there's already a threat from the occupants of the newly constructed main market that they are going to lock the doors. They're not going to sell items to the public. So this is already a threat.
They have a right because they have a formal leadership. They are trying to tell the city leaders, if you don't act, we are going to do this.
And at the same time, Oringi, you'll realize that the people who are occupying the Lobida market down there have voiced their concern. A number of them have said they have missed out on rooms. They have missed rooms in the main market. They have accused the city authority of segregatively allocating rooms in the main market. Some of them have said the rooms that they were supposed to get have been given to the relatives of the city authority,
So
the people in
that
the
is what the
authority.
problem is. Let's go back to the allocation committee. What did the allocation committee do? And I expected the city leaders, those that are appointed by the president and also those that are the technical people, to get deep down there and investigate the allocation committee. The problem that I have in this city is that the allocation committee never did its part. People got a lot of money. If you're a member of a allocated committee, you
allocated themselves
got
the
a lot
rooms.
of money. They relocated
And they have in
themselves.
turn rented them out
That
to,
is it.
people from central Uganda to the Muindis.
That is it. So what should be done?
Yeah.
So the solution to this problem is very easy. Get back, investigate the allocation that was given to the people. Right now, if you go to the main market, it is a mess. How can the allocation committee allocate stairs for the vendors? You see that? Go around there and check. It is a total mess. And this total mess cannot be confused at this particular time. If they want to confuse it more by using soldiers' live bullets, tear gas to disperse the people in Lobida Market, then they are going to get it wrong. What they need to do right now, they say fire cannot be killed with fire. So what they have to do, they have to go back to the drawing board.
But the talk has not yielded. They have talked to the people.
There's a
And
problem.
the people have said,
The people you're talking to, you should not talk in the boardroom. Get down to the people. Speak to the people. Don't go with the soldiers. Don't go with police officers. Go as Oringi Dennis Fosse. Go as the mayor of Central Division. As a person. Go and sit with them. Ask them what is the problem. Listen to them.
Haven't this been done, Oringi?
If it fails, don't drag people. If you drag,
Now, you
let me
see,
tell you, if you drag,
Oringi.
they will not pay for you the dues that you want.
Oringi,
Remember,
listen.
the country is a laissez-faire economy. I can decide to sell or not to sell, and you cannot force me. So what do we need to do? The city authority, they are trying to tell the people, please pay taxes. No, pay market dues. They are right now. They are supposed to be more
And for your
humble than even
information,
the cat.
for your information, even the market down there, the Lobida market, pays market dues to the authority that is supposed to go and dismantle that market.
It's simple. Then the city authority should now look at how can they modify Lobida market to be one of the markets. Otherwise, a city cannot have one market, for God's sake. You understand? The market was given under municipality. They didn't know that they will be given a city status because this market was given to a rural municipality in 2016. They won that project in 2016. So what should be done right now is that we are already in the city. How can we create alternative sources of revenue that can finance the city administration right now? The Lobida market that gives money to the city should be modified now. The central market can remain. A Windry market is there. Now, if they're saying that the Lobida market should not be there, then a Windry market has not to be there. Remember what happened when a Windry decided to abandon the market at Zambia and they went and created their own market
in
at that hill.
in
Uluko sub-county. Now, Uluko sub-county is in the city. Now, you cannot tell the people of a Windry to come to the central market. You cannot tell the people, the women who sell in Zambia, to come into the market. The markets have to be created in the city
To create more revenue for the authority.
Because the problem that we have in this country is that in 2015, the government of the Republic of Uganda, through Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, came out with what we call the Local Service Tax, the Local Revenue Generation Act. But what is happening right now? The cities, the municipalities, the town council, the districts are complaining that they don't have money. Because they have failed to create alternative sources of revenue that can be generated to finance their activities. So that is the problem.
Yeah. Oringi, one other aspect that I see, which may be very hard for people to move away from there, is the existence of this taxi park. You know, the previous taxi park, you know how it has been constructed. It has become a kind of a business park.
A business is just a parking yard for the people
yes,
who go
for the vendors.
For those who go and
I think
procure.
Arua City does not have a taxi park.
Do they have a bus park?
They don't have a bus park.
They always
don't.
I don't know how much they're collecting from the buses that are parking,
by the roadside.
By the roadside from on the streets, because we have buses being parked at different streets that we have. So these are the problems that we have in this city. People are looking, the leaders are looking at their stomach other than looking at service delivery to the people.
All right, our time is fast spent and we are stepping out of the studios right about now. Kokoliriko Live comes to an end. This is West Nile TV. As always, we're lighting the region. My colleague Oringi Dennis here. We're discussing a number of issues from the upper land question. And for your information, as we step out, there was the discussion in Gulu City over the SDGs. If you do know the SDGs, these are the Sustainable Development Goals, and there are about 17, one of which talks about education and another talks about poverty eradication in all across the world. And Uganda being one of the countries in the world that actually subscribes to, you know, a number of charters, a number of policies that are created by the United Nations. And so this being one of the issues, it was discussed in northern Uganda, and specifically in Gulu City. And this was merged with the aspect of the parish development model, which is yet to come through. A number of pioneering projects have been done as far as parish development module is concerned. Can the existence of the parish development model be able to help steer one of the 17 SDGs to the next level? We're talking about poverty eradication. This and much more, we can be able to discuss them in a number of our subsequent programs here on Kokoliriko, here on West Nile TV. As West Nile TV, as always, we're lighting the region. Kokoliriko Show Live comes to an end. My name is Andabati Yusuf with my colleague Origi Dennis. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Catch me again next time.
All right.
If God allows.
Of course, of course. And this morning we're stepping out and we're going to Yumbe district, and there is the celebration of belated celebration of the World Environment Day, which is taking place in Yoyo Primary School in Kululu sub-county in Yumbe district. Catch you there, and we'll be able to bring you each and everything to do with the World Environment Day. You do know that the number of refugees that exist in Bidibidi, and this puts a lot of pressure on the environment that we have here. And so the celebration comes at a very good point. Up next, we have the Business Bank with Mina. Good morning. Stay with us.